Hi guys and dolls. Allie here. Bubs is here too. Not gonna lie, we missed our ferry. So now we're waiting for the next one. It's in an hour. Yay. Enjoy the views from all the B-roll I'm about to show you. The boats are nice. Honestly, I hate the doctor, but I have to go. I'm whispering so nobody outside hears me. But I can't stand a doctor's visit. They make me nervous. So, hopefully everything's cool. Another day, another adventure, but what do you guys expect from me at this point, right? Today I go in for a sugaring. Ever since Chicago, the dates for my sugarings changed, so they're not at the beginning of the month anymore. They're sort of in the middle. I'm going to try to figure out how to fix that. But anyway, so I'm going down to Union Square. I'm also actively looking at different coffee shops I've never tried before. A, because I'm probably going to make a video out of it, and B, I'm actively trying not to go to Starbucks anymore, which is a challenge because a lot of you guys know I don't really like to talk to people, and mobile order is such a godsend, and a lot of people don't have that. So it's kind of forcing me to be social. Anyway, long-winded story to just say that I'm going out today again. And it's quite unlike me. Let's see how it goes. But first, quick little outfit. Honestly, there's not much here. The striped shirt, which you can't see because jacket is Old Navy. The jeans are Old Navy. The jacket is Gap Factory. The bag is Free People. Headphones are Marshalls. Shoes are Crown Vintage via DSW. And the socks are Target from a while ago. I'm probably going to unbutton this coat. It's hot in my apartment, but I think it's cool outside. Either way, probably unbuttoning this coat. Anyway, let the adventure in Union Square commence. I haven't grabbed pictures in so long, and I'm very excited about this vlog. He didn't realize I was talking to you guys.
Talking to me.
But we're gonna figure out where we want to take pictures of this beautiful dress. Thank you to Rose Garden for it. It's a beautiful, beautiful dress. And where do we want to go? Right here? I like this. I gotta stand in front of that sign though. All right, let's do this. I ended up getting really self-conscious. It's because I'm rusty, and it's been a while. I got work to do before I'm comfortable in front of a camera again. Yeah, let's go. Just waiting for my coffee to be done before I start talking. Perfect. Okay. That was a very unique experience. In May, when they first did the Marc Jacobs like appointments, I missed out on that because I want to say I was doing something that the weekends that they had available, or just something had come up where I couldn't do it. So when the appointments opened up for October, I jumped on it and I was like, I must. I picked the Christina bag in the beach color. That's BECH. It's more like an olive with the gold medal. Um, they had the three initial colors and then they came out with this fourth one a few months ago and it was selling like hotcakes. I knew I wanted the olive, no question. Um, I went in there. I showed staff, by the way, Rachel, thank you, at the Hudson Yards location of Marc Jacobs. Thank you. You were an angel. Gave them pictures. We went and grabbed like coffee and walked around Hudson Yards for a little bit. And then we came back. When we came back, it was drying. Like she was very fast, the artist. And I took some pictures with it. I probably showed them to you already in the vlog. But I took some pictures with it and it warmed my heart that I was able to honor Macho in such a way because, you know, I have so many things around the house that honor my mother, but I don't really have a lot that honors him. And, you know, I have her urn next to his ashes. His ashes are in like a little box. So I just wanted to honor him a little more in a different way. And I thought that that was a great opportunity to do that. And I also got a really, really nice bag out of it too that I'm going to be using. So all around, it was a great experience. And this weekend has been very full and I'm very happy. And if you had the opportunity to do that, I would say do it whenever the appointments open up. So yeah, it's good. Guys and dolls, I think I'm going to end the vlog here. It was a doozy, pretty long, but it was very fulfilling and very rewarding, and I've had quite an interesting few weeks, I will say. If you enjoyed everything that you saw in today's video, please make sure you give the video a like and subscribe to the channel and share this video out to anybody who you think may like a little dose of New York City life, and I will be sure that I provide as best that I can. With that, I will say thank you guys and dolls, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Super easy outfit today. Necklace is Free People. Shirt is, I want to say it's J. Crew. Pants are Old Navy. Blazer is J. Crew Factory. Belt is Uniqlo. Shoes are Lucky Brand. And then the bag is Marc Jacobs, because as you may have seen in my last vlog, I will link it down below. I got my little baby a new Marc Jacobs bag. This is the Christina tote in the beach color, which is new for the season. I love this thing so much. But yeah, I'm just gonna go grab some coffee and we're gonna do this live stream. And then I have a seminar that I signed up for from Shop My, which is the place I use all my affiliate links, because Black Friday and the holiday season's coming and I want to better prepare my website for shopping in case you want to shop it. So also, if you want to check out the website, please do. Okay, let's go.
talk a little bit about best practices, how you can maximize your in preparing. It's definitely the first step towards success. We're going to quickly introduce the three of us.
Today should be fun. It's been a while since Armand and I have had a weekend where one of us isn't doing something. And so he decided he wanted to do something with me today, and we are going apple picking. I think we're going to Penning Farms. When we get there, I'll leave the location like I always do. But like, there'll be apple cider and goat races and pumpkin picking as well, and for some reason pizza. And it's just gonna be a nice day. And I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm hoping that I can turn that around and feel a little better so that I can film and take some pictures on my vintage camera and then apple pick a little bit. So it'll be nice. Then we have a whole bunch of other stuff to do this weekend too. Like, I got to take pictures of my Halloween costume, and which means I'm probably dating this video a little bit, but that's okay. And early voting, because we have a mayoral race in New York City, and it's time to vote, at least early. I don't like going like that Tuesday. The lines get too long, so I go early. So I'm excited because this weekend's like just chock full of stuff. And I like weekends like that. Distractions help me. Let's go tell you about my outfit a little bit. It's very like apple picking-esque. Whatever that means to you. I'm almost calling this like the Seattle special, because this is like what I wore to Seattle a lot. So the shoes are Sorrel from Chelsea boots. I got them from DSW. Socks are Target. Leggings are Old Navy. The shirt is Primark. The jacket is also Target. The bag is Marc Jacobs with my little baby on it. And then, of course, I got my vintage camera bag. And then the sunglasses are WMP. No necklace, no nothing, because we're apple picking. I don't need extra stuff. But yeah, like this is the we're going apple picking fit. And we'll see how long I last in this fit. But it's comfortable, which is always most important. Need to be comfortable. All right, let's go upstate. That's a thing.
Oh, yeah. Going in the bag.
My bag is fuller than his.
Only selects in my bag. She's grabbing everything that looks lonely.
No. Not good. It's starting to brown.
It's cookie. There's more back there.
On the map, what did you not hit?
So we're gonna do some Ida Reds now. For those of you that don't know, my mother's name was Ida, so she always loved the good Ida Red. And we'll see what we find. Get the feeling they're gonna all be hiding in high. Yep. In high. Maybe this for sure. I think it's good. A lot of these you just gotta like water them down a little bit and you're seeing. A lot of them are. You having a good day? I'm having a very good day. This is beautiful. This is just gorgeous. I think now what we want to do is maybe catch the goats before they stop racing. And I also want to check out all their ciders. I want to take home, they have a maple vanilla like cider. I want. So let's check it out. So we just got finished early voting and now we are trying to find a spot for me to take a picture of my Halloween costume. That was a clue. That was a clue. Any idea where? It is no secret that I have been doing a lot of shopping lately. We were at Woodbury Commons yesterday, and we did some shopping after we went apple picking and went to the pumpkin patch and all that good stuff. Which, by the way, that was incredible. I loved every minute of that. And if you like are into harvest season or into autumn and fall activities, highly recommend going there. Penning's Farm and Cidery. Very, very good job. Very well done. I thought I would take you guys through some of the stuff that I've been buying lately. I will link as much of it as I can in the description, starting with this sweater. I got this sweater at Old Navy. I got the sweater at Old Navy Factory at Woodbury Commons. I thought it was on sale, but it wasn't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that when you were a factory store, like 90% of the stuff that was in your store is supposed to be on sale. Apparently this wasn't, so big whoop-de-doo there. But I also picked up these jeans. These are high-rise skinny jean, the Rockstar jeans. I don't know what color this is. It's like a dark denim, but it's got like gray hints to it. I love these. Actually, I wore these today. So I got them in a size 16 because your girl gained some weight. So we're working on losing some. Don't worry. But 16 is usually what I go to. They fit like a glove. And then I also picked up this sweater, long sleeve sweater that I love. And then I went over to the Gap, and we went to the Gap factory also at Woodbury Commons, and I picked up some slacks. These are like linen fabric, but what I love the most, elastic, and a drawstring. So they call them at the Gap, they're easy pant. So I got this in an XL. They are a mid-rise. They have a tapered leg and they're ankle length. So all good things because I am a short girl. I need to be able to walk. I need to be able to walk in the pants I buy. So if it's ankle length, it works well because it won't like make me trip or fall. Long pants have been known to make me fall. And then Gap had a collaboration with Disney not too long ago, and it's already 60% off at Gap Factory. Some of the collection, not all of it. This crew neck sweatshirt, let's see, it was originally $60. I got it for 60% off at Gap Factory. Like, it's already on sale. And I was like, why they're trying to get rid of the Disney collection so fast, and I have no idea why. I'm just gonna shop. So I know she's not everybody's favorite, but I also went to Skims, and I wanted to pick up some bralettes. I only found one that I really liked, or at the very least wanted to try. I've been wearing a lot of bralettes this year because I just, bras for me, I'm very much tired of being in a bra all the time. So I went to Skims and I grabbed their seamless sculpt bralette. This one sort of shapes a little bit, so I wanted to give it a try and see if I liked it. I got it in Onyx and I got it in an XL. Usually in Skims, I'm an XL. So I personally can't wait to give this a try because I do want my bralettes to be a little bit more like shapely for me and have a bit more of a cup. Like the one I'm wearing right now isn't really cupped all that well, but this one, see that underline, that cup there, that doesn't exist in the one I'm using because it's just like a normal bralette. I'm hoping that it works out, because if it does, then I'll just order like a few other colors in the app. I find it easier to shop Skims on the app than in real life, to be honest. I also want to show you guys a couple things I've been ordering online. So this here is a sweater vest I got from Zara. The plan for this is I have it in a shopping cart on Amazon. This beautiful pink tulle, like long skirt that I want to pair with this because it's very close to the color of the bow. And I want to wear that for like New Year's Eve and get pictures in it. I have a whole bunch of stuff saved in my Amazon cart for decor for that day, and I'm very much ready to get that going. To go back to Old Navy, I had an Instagram ad win. I bought this in an XL petite, although it's got an oversized look to it, so I feel like it's going to fit me slightly big. Old Navy does vanity sizing, so a lot of times it'll look like I'm like wearing a smaller size when in fact that's just like my real size. They just like size really big. But I love this. It's like a little crop sweater. I think this could be like holiday party. I have some sequin shorts coming, and I put some tights on, some sequin shorts, cute little heel, and then you get a cute outfit out of it. But the creme de la creme, the one that I'm very excited about, and I'm thinking very far ahead here, but it's within reason. But I bought this dress. It does stretch out, don't worry, it does stretch out. I bought this dress for maybe birthday or Valentine's Day. I haven't decided yet. But it is a strapless red ruffle from Nasty Gal, and I loved it, and it was on sale, and it's got stretch to it, which I, again, super love. And since it was on super sale, I decided to grab that. So that's mostly what I've been buying lately. I'll link what I can in the description below. Yeah, it's been quite the weekend. I am just so like happy and fulfilled. Forgive all the noise above or outside. There are children that live above me that are like super loud for no reason. I've mentioned this before on the vlog. There's there's a lot left to do for the rest of this month. I want to visit a couple of the winter villages in New York and sort of bring some holiday spirit to the vlog for you guys. And I have there's plans all over the place for you guys, and we'll end up doing. I think for now, I'm just gonna like put all of this away, or at least figure it out. Probably take a shower, and because we went apple picking and there were so many apples in the house now, I'm figuring out ways to get creative on what I want to do with them. And today, or tonight at least, I want to try to make some applesauce. So we're gonna see how that goes, and maybe I'll run you through that. Oh, let me show you how many apples I got. It's a ton. So this place did it by peck, and so this is one peck, and this is peck number 2. So many apples. There's at least like 20, 25 in here. I put the smaller ones at the bottom, bigger ones towards the top. Then these guys here I still need to clean. Once I clean them, I'm going to put them in here, but I want to make the applesauce first. So I got to get the blender going, and then we'll see how the applesauce turns out. I think I have every ingredient I need. Lime or lemon juice, and then water, and then the apples. You got to cut them up. So we'll see. Okay, so here's what I did. A little bit of lime juice, a little bit of cinnamon, water, and about 4 apples, because I don't have a high-powered blender, so I can't do a ton of apples at a time. So I sliced up 4. You want medium-sized pieces, so cut it into like eighths almost, and then you'll get what you get. Puree it in your blender, and then you have like pretty much raw applesauce. This is what it looks like, the consistency. See, the applesauce that you see in supermarkets usually has preservatives in it, which is why it looks the way it looks and it tastes the way it tastes. I only put 3 sugar cubes in here, just 3. Don't need it to be super sugary. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the fridge for a little bit because I like it cold, and then I'm gonna eat this whole thing. I like to keep the skin on because the skin of an apple has a lot of nutrients in it, so get all the nutrients you can. But yeah, that's me making applesauce. I guess I'll leave like what I put into the blender and how much I blended it and all that. I'll leave it either on as text in this video somewhere as I'm doing it, or like in the description I'll leave it too. So I'm gonna leave this in the fridge for like 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna eat the sucker because it tastes good. Also, pro tip, if you're gonna do something like this, do different kinds of apples. Don't do all of the same apple. You want a little bit of variety so that it's like not too tart, not too sweet. I did a couple of Ida Reds. I did an Ida Red. There was a golden in there. There was something else in there that I forgot. I'll remember that. I'll put it in the description too. Yeah, let's put this in the fridge and then figure out what the next thing we're going to do today is. I think I might just be probably editing this vlog that you're watching, to be honest. How funny. A pretty simple outfit for heading outside, right? I'm wearing the very oversized Mickey Mouse sweatshirt from Gap Factory that I mentioned before. It's intentional that it's this big. I like big baggy clothing. Skinny jeans are Old Navy. Shoes are Dr. Scholl's from DSW. The headband is actually from ASOS, but I cut whatever was on it off it so I could just have the white headband. And then, of course, my Marc Jacobs Christina tote with my little machito. I'm gonna never not show you this. I'm always gonna show you this, like always. Going out for some coffee. I have editing to do. I have posts to draft and edit, and there's so much. There's just so much to do. It's never ending, but I need a little bit of a squeeze. Although like now I'm going to get coffee like once a week now, which is an improvement. Feeling a lot better, a lot lighter, but it's like whew, those first couple of weeks without coffee were hard, and Seattle made it difficult, but I managed without as much coffee as I thought I would be drinking. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Let's go get some coffee, because your girl is done, tired, ick. Usually when I'm not in the mood to talk to people, I will go to Starbucks because I could just use the app and go. But on days like this when the app is down, I actually go to a different place that's actually right across the street from there. It's called Double Dutch Espresso. It's one of my favorite coffee shops in Harlem, and I think I might just make that like the new norm. I've been, and I've spoken about this before, I've been trying to kick the Starbucks habit for a while now, and I think that the app being down today kind of was the catalyst for that. So I think I'm finally going to like skip Starbucks for good and just go to Double Dutch all the time. It's also like good for me because it helps me get social, which I really need because I'm not as social as I'd like to be in life, and I need to change that. So I grabbed a couple things from Double Dutch, just like a bagel and lemon bread cake. And I'm gonna eat and then do my editing and then relax a little. Okay guys and dolls, I think I'm going to end the vlog here. If you enjoyed today's vlog all around New York City, I encourage you to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, share the video out. You never know who may want to see something about New York City and I can provide. So, that being said, thanks so much for joining me and I'll see you on the next one. Hey guys and dolls, Allie here, and today's video I just wanted to talk about my grief journey, my healing journey, where I'm at in both of those journeys, and how I'm going to navigate the holidays without mom. Now, for those of you that are new here, I started this channel after my therapy sessions had finished because I needed a way to not necessarily distract myself, but a way to sort of figure out why I was here, why I was doing the things I was doing, rediscover my love of things, and just kind of figure out the kind of person I want to be. Therapy is expensive. And so I have been using this YouTube channel as a way to heal myself from a lot of different traumas, but the main one being my mother's passing. If you are new here, my mother passed away in December of 2023. She had a heart attack, and it was very sudden. She went into cardiac arrest. There wasn't much anyone could do. She was just down for too long, and there was no brain function. I can go deeper, but I'm choosing not to. The point being, she died the day after Christmas. So December 26th, 2023. And so I always like to make the joke, she changed the holidays for me for the rest of my life, and my husband's life too, because he was there with me every step of the way while everything was happening. And it's been tough. 2024 was very tough. There were a few times where, I had a few ideations that I won't go into because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube or anything, but you can take a guess at it. I was making a lot of poor decisions. I was eating poorly. I was gaining weight, which I'm now currently having to lose a lot of that weight again, which I have been, thankfully. And just all around not being a good human being the way that I used to be before she passed away. And she decided she wanted to be cremated. And with cremating with the state of New York, you are also, depending on the program you pick or the people you pick, you could enroll in a program that allows for 10 free therapy sessions. And it took me a long time to do it. I wasn't sure. First off, I thought I could handle it on my own. I was very wrong on that. There was a lot of things that I was doing that were just very stupid. And so one day, for you reach your rock bottom, and I reached it, and I sort of decided right then and there, hey, I think I need the help. I think I need to do this. And so that day I responded to their emails, and I got myself 10 free therapy sessions. When those 10 free sessions were up, I felt immensely better, just being able to figure out my grief, figuring out what it looked like, figuring out how I could not necessarily repair it, but go through it and come out on the other side, still functioning and still being able to enjoy my days, despite, it took a long time to get there. And it was very hard. It was very hard. It was sort of like a what's next type of thing, right? So what's next, since I can't actually afford therapy, it's actually way too expensive, especially here in New York City. A shame, really, but we can go into politics of that another time. I decided that I wanted to take on a project. I wanted to do something for me that was creative in its own way. In December of last year, I started uploading TikToks to Shorts because we were afraid of the TikTok ban or whatever, and I didn't want to lose them necessarily. So I found a new home for them, and then they just started doing pretty okay. And I was like, okay. And then I decided in January I wanted to do long form videos. And I made it so that this channel was just about my life, and about my life in New York City, and coffee shops I found, or just regular vlogs, or explore parks, or just kind of show you the city in all seasons. And it has become such a labor of love. It has become such a labor of love, and I'm so happy that there are so many that have joined me on this journey of just kind of discovering not only myself, but discovering the city that I live in. This is going to be my first holiday with this channel, sort of documenting what the holidays kind of look like in New York City. With that comes grief sort of seeping itself back in. I'm going to film and I'm going to do these things, but I also don't want to sugarcoat I don't want to hide the fact that there might be days when I don't feel like myself. There might be days where I just don't want to film, or maybe there might be a video or two where I just don't want to get it out and I don't want to do it. It's been interesting. It was interesting to navigate the holidays last year. I didn't want to really do much of anything. I was very depressed. Still am in a lot of respects. But again, I climbed through that. There are a lot of issues, a lot of things I'm not going to talk about. So how do I navigate the grief? I got a lot of great tips about breathing exercises. I do breathing exercises very often. The inhaling and the exhaling with sequential numbers is a favorite one of mine that I do often. I also do a lot of touch therapy. So whenever my husband's around and I feel like I'm about to go through something, I'll hug him, or I'll like not grab aggressively, but I'll touch an arm, or I'll just search for a touch. I also like color games. So if I'm feeling something and I just happen to be outside, I will pick a color and I will find everything around me that is that color. And that sort of helps me divert my mind from things that I may be feeling into feeling something else. That is not to say that I'm trying to distract from the grief. In fact, I feel it a lot, and I have chosen to, rather than try to keep it in, to let it all out. I let it all out. It's never anger. It's never, anything that causes extra anxieties. It's always something that ends up with me feeling very light, because I'll cry and I think there was one time where I punched a wall. And I ugly cry. I am not afraid to sort of say, this is how I'm feeling right now. This is what I need right now. I gotta either give it to myself or someone can help me. It depends on the situation. And I've been learning how to pass through it rather than stop and try to go around, because it's just going around is never gonna work. This was my mother. This was someone who, I was supposed to have like a good extra 30 years with, give or take. My mom was only 60, she was only 68. That got stolen from me. I really feel like that got stolen from me. I think that her environment and her circumstances caused her to be stressed out more than she needed to be. There were certain things and certain people in her life that stressed her, and I would try so hard to get her to not necessarily calm down, but just kind of have different ways of thinking about some of these things. She was always worried and always worried about these things that society bestowed upon her, or at least that's how she felt. I am so very grateful that I saw so much of what she was going through and actively decided to never let those things stress me or worry me, or that I was very much going to always figure it out and never lead with anger, always leading with love and empathy, and doing all of that and not being like some angry person all the time has really helped me in a lot of the things that I get to be able to do in this life. And I'm very grateful. Things happen, and I think that if she was in a different environment, not having to deal with certain people and certain things, that she could have been with us here today. I don't know. Those are the kinds of things you don't know, right? In navigating that grief, I'm also trying to deal with not being so stressed about a lot of things, because I don't want to end up that way. I don't want to end up having to have all these additional health problems. I already have quite a few. And a lot of it is leading me down a lot of the same paths my mother was in, and I'm sort of having to try to stop that and nip that in the bud as quick as I can, because I'm still very young and I don't want to be dealing with much when I'm older, to be honest. I want to be able to live a relaxed life with my husband, when I'm older. And it seems like a lot of the women in my family don't get blessed with that, and I want to be first. Not putting certain responsibilities on myself that I didn't feel like were mine helped me too. And guys, I'm shocked I'm here, really, because last year it was really tempting to just not be here anymore. And that's a tough thing to say, because I have a lot of people that love me, and I have a lot of people that want to see me do good and strive and be this powerful warrior that I am, because I have been through so much, and I'm still here and I'm still standing. Her death really broke me in ways that I don't think many around me understand or still understand. I can't necessarily help make you understand that. Those are lived experiences you'll have to go through eventually one day. I just was unfortunate to have to deal with them very early on in my life. I'm only 38. I was hoping to see my mom into her 80s or her 90s at the very least. So, and I was hoping to get a lot of answers to questions. And there's a lot of things that were taken from me. All of that to say that the breathing techniques and the color games and the things that I'm doing to sort of calm me down when I need to, that I will be okay. I think mostly this video is more of me holding myself accountable for how I want to maintain my mental health through the holidays. And it's tricky because, the holidays are something that's supposed to be so full of love and joy and this and that and a third, and I don't feel that. I didn't feel that last year. It'll be interesting to see how I feel about the holidays this year. I know that a lot of people are going to pour so much love into me, and I will take any and all of it because that's just the person I am. I'm a very loving, very empathetic. So it'll be interesting to see how I can navigate it. But I think I'm mostly making this video to like I said, hold myself accountable, but to also just remind myself that I can do it. That I've been doing this now for almost 2 years, trying to figure out what life is like without her. This channel and my husband and his family are just so loving and so supporting. And you guys here have been so loving and so supporting and subscribing and watching and, giving me advice on what you want to see next and all these other things that just really warm my heart and really just kind of help me recognize that I am not alone, that I can get through this holiday, that I can figure it out, and that I will be okay. At the end of it all, you take out all the fluff, you take out all the BS. I am going to be okay this holiday season because I have so much love around me, and I have you guys, and I have the channel, and I have her memories, and I have her pictures, and I have all these things that are just going to wrap me in like a warm blanket and help me heal, because I'm getting back there slowly. I gotta get through Thanksgiving. I gotta get through Christmas. I've got to get through New Year's. I've got to get through my birthday. I've got to get through Valentine's Day because we used to like to send each other things. I've got to get through my anniversary, my wedding anniversary, her birthday, my husband's birthday, and then Mother's Day. And that's all like from October to May, give or take. So it's gonna be hard, but I know that I have people, and I'm just forever grateful for that. All right, guys and dolls, if you enjoyed me yapping at you for however many minutes this video ends up being, do give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I post about once a week, or if you just want to see my life in New York City, you can watch that as well. But I thank you guys. Thank you for listening to me for a few minutes, and I will see you on the next one. Hey guys and dolls, it's Alessa. Today's video is one that I've wanted to make for a while. I talk a lot about the magic of New York City, the coffee shops, the energy, the little moments that make you feel like you're in a movie. But what I don't always talk about is the other side of that story. Because yeah, there is a dark side to living in New York City, but it's not always the stuff you expect. If you ever dreamed of moving here, or maybe already live here and you've had these moments where you're like, wait, why does this feel harder than it needs to be? Then this video is for you. Let's talk about the truth behind the New York City lifestyle, the parts no one on Instagram ever shows you, but for everyone here who comes here eventually feels. The pressure. So let's start with the obvious. New York has this reputation of being the city that never sleeps. And that sounds exciting until you realize that sometimes neither do you. The hustle culture here is real. The people are chasing big dreams, their careers, art, stability, identity. And it can feel like if you're not moving fast enough that you're falling behind. You walk down the street and everyone's in motion, headphones in, iced coffee in hand, eyes focused. It's inspiring, but it's also exhausting. And that's the dark side no one really warns you about. You can be doing really well and still feel like it's not enough in this city. There's this quiet comparison game. Who has the better apartment? Who has the better job? The better New York story? Now, I was born and raised here, so I settled in very quickly. You're talking about a girl who would ride the subway alone at 9 years old. But New York truly doesn't really let you get comfortable. It's always shifting. It's always testing you. The truth about living in New York City is that it'll push you, sometimes in ways you didn't ask for. The cost. Yes, guys and dolls, we're gonna talk about money. Because living in New York City is expensive, and that is no secret. But it's not just the rent, it's the mental cost. Everything here costs a little more. Groceries, brunch, just existing. You start to normalize paying $18 for that salad or the $7 for that coffee because that's just the New York price. And that's fine until one day you check your bank account and realize you've already spent your paycheck on, vibes? Maybe you tell yourself it's part of the New York City lifestyle, but it does add up. Sometimes I think about how many people leave New York, not because they stopped loving it, but because they simply couldn't afford it anymore. And that's the sad truth. Still, I say, if you can learn to manage life here, you can manage life anywhere. But it does take discipline and maybe a little bit of delusion. Loneliness in a crowded city. One of the biggest surprises for me was how lonely living in New York City can feel. You're surrounded by people all the time, on the subway, in coffee shops, walking through Harlem, Midtown, downtown. That doesn't mean you feel connected. Sometimes it feels like everyone's in their own world, and that can be tough. Especially if you've moved here alone or don't have family nearby. There's this weird contradiction. You crave quiet, but when it finally happens, the silence hits different. And I think a lot of New Yorkers don't talk about it because it feels like they're admitting weakness in a way. Like if you say you're lonely, maybe you don't belong here. But honestly, it's part of the journey. You have to build your own version of community. Find your own little constants. The barista who remembers your order, your favorite park bench, the one deli guy who calls you mommy. That's a personal one for me. Those are the things that make the city feel less small and more human. Being in New York City isn't just about the apartments and the rent. It's about learning to be alone and still being okay with it. Safety and overstimulation. Another side people ask about is safety, especially women living alone in New York City. And yeah, it's something I'm aware of every single day, even though I'm not single. Walking home at night, taking the subway at night, even something so simple as wearing my headphones could be a problem. You learn to stay alert without letting the fear take over. I still wear my headphones, but my eyes do all the work for me. That kind of thing. The truth, New York isn't as dangerous as people online make it sound, but it's not exactly carefree either. You have to be aware, you have to trust your instincts, and sometimes say no to plans that just don't feel right. And then there's the overstimulation. New York is loud, There are sirens, traffic, construction, people shouting across the street. There's always something. And if you're sensitive to energy, it can and will drain you fast. You find yourself needing to leave the city just to remember what silence sounds like. That's not a weakness, though. That's balance. Make sure you always find your balance. Identity and self-worth. Living in New York City will force you to meet yourself, the real version, not the curated one, because when everything feels hard, you'll start to ask yourself the deeper questions. Why am I here? What am I chasing? Who am I when nobody's watching? And sometimes the answers are uncomfortable. This city has a way of showing you your own limits, your resilience, your fears, your patterns. It's not gentle, it's honest. I think that's the dark side and the beauty of it all. New York strips you down and then rebuilds you, piece by piece, if you let it. So yes, the truth about New York City life is that it's messy, imperfect, and often unfair. But it's also where you find out what you're really made of. I personally like to say that to love New York City is to also hate it. You're going to be doing both, and often. Is there a dark side of living in New York City? Yeah, there is. But that's not all shadows and struggles. It's the quiet moments of doubt between subway stops, the late nights when you're exhausted but still chasing something that matters, the loneliness that eventually turns into independence, the chaos that forces you to slow down. And honestly, I think that's what makes the city worth it. Because the truth is, the dark side is what gives New York its depth. Without it, it'd just be like any other city with any other pretty skyline. If you've been thinking about moving here, don't be scared. Just be ready to meet every version of yourself, because you'll meet them all. Thank you for listening, and if you're living in New York City too, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. What's the hardest part of city life for you right now? And what keeps you here anyway? I put together a living map of all my favorite New York City spots. Coffee shops, wine bars, bookstores, bakeries, boutiques, you name it. There's over 100 spots I love and keep going back to. And the best part is I update it often, season by season, so you'll always have something new to explore. Download it now, the link's in the description, and let my version of NYC become yours. Talk to you soon, guys and dolls. Hey guys and dolls, it's Alessa. Today we're getting a little real about what it's like to actually vlog in New York City. Because listen, when I first started filming around the city, I had this dreamy idea of coffee runs, skyline shots, subway b-roll, and maybe a few compliments on my camera setup. But the reality? It's chaotic, hilarious, and sometimes humbling. So if you ever thought about starting your own vlog in New York City, or if you're already filming and wondering why it feels like an Olympic sport, this one's for you. Here are 10 things I wish I knew before vlogging in New York City. Let's start the video. You are going to feel awkward, and that's okay. The first time I pulled out my phone in public to film, I swear everyone was staring at me, or at least it felt like they were. The truth is, people in New York City have seen it all. They might glance at you for a second, but then they move on. You're not the weirdest thing they're going to see in that day. I promise it. My biggest tip for you, start small. Film your clips on your phone first. Then when you're comfortable, you can bring out a camera if you have one. Eventually, you'll realize no one else cares. And the few who do might just be curious or even supportive. I personally use my iPhone. I film in 3 to 10 second increments when I need B-roll, and if I'm speaking outside, I make sure I find a random street corner where there's not many people, say what I need to say, and then go. The lighting will be your best friend or your worst enemy. New York City has this magical golden hour light that makes your footage look very cinematic until you turn a corner and suddenly you're in full shadow next to a skyscraper. It's a lesson learned, trust me. Always keep an eye on your lighting. Morning light works wonders in most neighborhoods, and cloudy days are your best friend for even tones. If you can, scout your filming spots first, especially if you're vlogging in heavily populated areas like Soho, Dumbo, parts of Uptown, Midtown for sure, where the lighting shifts very fast because you just never know. The city is loud, like really, really, really loud. You'll plan the perfect talking segment, and then an ambulance, construction truck, or a street performer all show up at the same time for some reason. Pro tip, get a good mic if you really need it with wind protection, or record your main voiceovers at home. And honestly, sometimes the chaos adds to the vibe. Let the sound of the city be part of your story. It makes your vlogs feel more alive and feel more authentic to you. I personally do a mix of everything. Sometimes I'll have my talking points at home. Sometimes my talking points will be outside, but I'll ensure that I stop speaking whenever I hear noise, and then I will continue speaking once it's quiet enough again. So to each their own there, but definitely don't feel like it's too much of a struggle, because it's not. For fear of sounding like one of those YouTube channels that's about your YouTube channel, you don't need fancy gear to start. I wish someone had told me that earlier. In a lot of my earlier vlogs, I would get so nervous that nothing looked good because I didn't have the $2,000 camera and I wasn't good at editing anything. But what matters more is consistency and authenticity. Some of my favorite New York City vloggers film on their phones, and their content still pulls thousands of views because it feels real. So start where you are, upgrade later if you want to. Your creativity is going to matter more here than your gear. Like I said before, I use my iPhone. It's very rare when I ever use a tripod. If I'm using a tripod, I am using it at home when I need a very specific shot, but most times it's just my arm and vibes. Not every day will feel aesthetic. There are days when it's gray and raining, and your latte spills before you even get your shot. But those days can make for the best content if you lean into it. People connect with honesty more so than perfection. So show the real city. Show the messy subway moments. Show crowded sidewalks. Show random detours. That's what's gonna make your vlog truly yours. I am always down for a mishap making it into one of my vlogs because it just makes it feel so much more real to most people. But also, I don't live in a bougie neighborhood. There is nothing luxury about this channel. I truly just an uptown girl who loves the city because she was born and raised in it, and it shows through each vlog. So all you need to do is just show who you are through each vlog. Filming in public takes energy. You'll be surprised how tired you feel after a full day of filming. It's not just walking, it's the performing. Staying aware of your surroundings and carrying gear if you have any while dodging tourists. Try not to film in Times Square. Oy. Plan your shoot days like mini adventures. Pick 2 to 3 spots max, schedule your breaks, and treat yourself to coffee or a snack in between your scenes. Trust me, a midday croissant or a midday cup of coffee can save your whole mood and can save your entire vlog. Editing takes longer than you think, but that's also okay. You'll film an hour of footage maybe, and somehow it turns to only 10 minutes when you're editing. But sometimes that editing of that 10 minutes can take 5 hours, and that's normal. But if you're trying to build consistency as a New York City vlogger, you might want to think about a workflow. I use my Notes app and my Journal app on my MacBook Pro. So I have a checklist of rough cuts, B-roll, voiceovers if needed, music I may want, and when I want to upload it, along with where I may want to film. It's all noted, nice and neat. Done is better than perfect. Every video is just practice. If you go back to a vlog of mine from January, it looks completely different than the vlogs that I'm making now. And it has taken weeks and months to sort of figure out what is me and what my vibe is. The only way you're going to do that is if you edit like mad. Always edit, but always be learning too. Finding quiet or empty spots in New York City is an art form. If you like peaceful footage, get up early, go film early, like really early. Before 9 a.m., Central Park feels like calm. Before 8 a.m., Soho is still waking up. There won't be anyone around. A sunrise in Williamsburg is perfection. Trust me, I used to do it for a few years back in the day. Explore lesser-known neighborhoods too. I personally live in Harlem. It's not lesser known per se, but it definitely doesn't get filmed as much on New York Vlogger YouTube. So I feel like I'm one of the few. Try Fort Tryon Park, try Roosevelt Island. They all have beautiful corners and aren't oversaturated online, which is key because you always want to give your audience new places to look at in New York City, especially if they're not from New York. They're going to want to see something different once in a while and not always see the touristy stuff. Your vlogs will stand out more when you show sides of New York City that people don't usually see. Collaboration and community are everything. The New York creator scene can feel intimidating, but it's full of incredible people. Reach out to other vloggers, photographers, and small creators. You never know who you meet. And having a few creator friends makes the journey way more fun. You can even start swapping tips about filming spots or gear you use or things you may want to talk about in a future vlog. Don't forget your local businesses. Cafes, vintage shops, bookstores, depending on the business, they will love to be featured. It's a win-win for everybody, and then you can build relationships like that. I personally know a few people that vlog in New York City, and I've exchanged a lot of information with a few people about how to make my vlogs a little better and a little more watchable. And this goes for any city. It doesn't have to be New York. Find your people. Your story is worth telling. The biggest thing I've learned, no one sees the city the same way that you do. So maybe you're showing off Harlem mornings or Brooklyn nights or quiet corner cafes or your favorite cup of coffee. That's your New York City. And that's what makes your vlogs valuable. Please don't follow other New York City vloggers just for the city. People don't follow New York City vloggers just for the city. They follow for you, your voice, your rhythm, your version of what it means to feel alive here. So it is imperative that you make your stories your own. I'm very guilty of, in the beginning, of trying to be like others that were in the space, and I quickly realized that that wasn't my version of New York. You'll learn it along the way. So, those are 10 things I wish I knew before vlogging in New York City. If you're just getting started, welcome. It's a wild, unpredictable ride, but it's so worth it. Keep filming, keep experimenting, and don't forget to actually live in the moments that you are capturing. If this helped you or gave you a little push to finally start vlogging in your city, drop a comment or tag me. I'd love to see what you guys create out there. Thank you for always being here, guys and dolls. I love you always. Talk soon.